Hey everyone, welcome to my live stream. Welcome if you're watching live, and welcome to those watching on the replay. Hey John, hey Mrs. Z. I am so glad that you guys are here. In this live stream, I'm just planning to do some gouache landscapes. As you may know, usually when I do these live streams, I do like loose florals, but over the past last week, I really enjoyed doing the gouache landscapes course, and it's left me like super inspired, and I just want to roll with it. So I'm going to be doing some paintings. I'm going to be showing you the process, my thought process. I also want this to be, as always, a wonderful opportunity to like ask questions, to chat. I have a few questions about like a few art supplies. So I just want to discuss everything as we paint. Obviously, because it's real time, if you want to paint along, you are more than welcome to do so. But yeah, I'm really glad that you are here. Let me just make sure. Let me know if there are any issues with hearing or seeing me. I can't see my full screen, but as long as you can, that is great. In addition to that, I'm looking down because I like made notes because it is late. So I just want to make sure I don't forget anything. But yeah, so the gouache course, although it's finished at the moment, and it was really well received. I personally had a great time. The feedback that I've received has been absolutely amazing, and it just consisted of live components as well as pre-recorded video and a workbook. Is just as much information that I could put in on how I do gouache landscapes all in one. Now, although the live components are over, if you are interested in getting the course, then you can do so through my Ko-fi, and I've linked down below. So you have the option of getting just the course, which would just be the 4 videos with five landscape paintings. And again, talking through color theory, talking through composition, looking at the references I like to pick and all that. Or there's also the full bundle, which includes the e-workbook that I have created, which was initially meant to be like just a few pages, but I wanted it to be very beneficial. So it's actually now over 30 pages. It has my favorite references. It has my notes. It has like my thought process on how I create landscapes. All of that and more is linked in the description. So if you're interested, please consider getting it. For Ko-fi members, it was free for July to get the workbook, but now you get a 10% discount. And I think that's pretty much it I need to tell you. Oh yeah, the other thing I need to say, if you have taken the course, please leave your feedback. I've left a link down below in the description. I would really appreciate it. Especially because so many, like I was so overwhelmed by how many people took part and how many people joined in. Like it was absolutely amazing, way more than I expected. But it would really just be beneficial for me to know how, like, to just know more. So I really appreciate everyone who's already left your feedback, and it's been amazing, both really positive but also some really great constructive points. But if you haven't yet left your feedback, even if you didn't complete the course, I would still really want to hear from you. Like, as you can probably tell, I go off feedback. I like engaging with you guys, and feedback means a lot, so please let me know. And then I have some exciting news, which let me show you. So this is the work for today. So hey everyone, I have kindly been gifted by Etcher a 10% off discount code for you. And essentially it's 10% off even if you're an existing customer. It's 10% off even if the item is on sale. It's 10% off even if just yeah on everything. It doesn't have to be Etcher products. It's just everything or most things on Jackson's. I think it just excludes gold leaf. So all you have to do to take part to get that is either use the link in the description or use the QR code. I know quite a few people watch me on TV, which I didn't realize, but I've put the QR code just in case you're watching on TV. It's easier, but if not, you can click on the link in the description and use the code Scrubs10 to get 10% off. It's only one use per customer, so make it count. And I don't know how long it's going to last. They haven't told me like how many people can use it. So I would say if you're planning on buying something, then probably sooner rather than later. and you use it in the promo code box inside the checkout. So again, 10% off extra on top of everything. So if you're a first time Jackson's customer, that means that you get 20% off. So there you go. And that's on top of sale prices. Like I think it's wild. I think it's wild. I'm so grateful. I asked was impressed that they said yes. And it's been a few weeks in the making, but Etcha's been really great. And on top of that, they've also given me a 10% discount for the Etcha site. So if you want to buy something from Etcha Lab, for example, if you want to buy the signature series sketchbooks or anything that perhaps isn't on Jackson's, or you just want to get it's easier for you to get it from Etcha, then you can get 10% off there. And that's by using the code Sketches10. So for Jackson's, Scrubs 10, and for Etcha, Sketches 10% off. So yeah, I'm kind of saving mine, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. And then the other thing I kind of wanted to mention was just my current art membership. So a lot of friendly faces like Miss Ebony, Astroglio, just a lot of awesome people are part of this already. And essentially, I have an art membership on Ko-fi where I create monthly art challenges. I create extra videos. We've now started doing some Zoom sessions on there as well that I'm really, really enjoying. And then you also get extra free bonus content that I create. So if you're interested in that, if you want to, I guess, do your art journey with with other people, myself included, then please definitely consider joining my Ko-fi. I have linked it down below, and I've also put up the QR code for you on the screen. The other thing is, what time is it in the UK? It's currently midnight, which is wild, but I'm going to be doing nights this weekend, so it's okay that it's ridiculously late. Like I've just been really, really tired recently. So when I came back from work, I actually took a nap. So now I feel nocturnal anyway. And I think that's pretty much it in terms of the majority of the things I have to say. If you are interested in painting gouache landscapes, which is why I'm assuming that you're here, then definitely consider the course. But even if you don't consider the course, I've created like mini reference books over the past year or so that just have extra references for. Oh, that's not the one I want to show. That just have extra references from my like trips abroad and like my traveling. The one that's Venice Views, the complete guide, also has step-by-step pictures of my gouache painting. So if you want to like see how to paint parts of Venice in gouache with a complimentary video inside as well, then that might be one to consider. And again, is everything linked down below? If it's not linked down below, I will link it down below, but it's on Ko-fi, so you guys can see it on there. Hey John, hey Tina. Oh, it's so nice to see all of you. Hey, Erica. Hey, Mrs. Z. Hey, Terry. Oh, hot Texas. We haven't had, I mean, we had summer for like a week. I made the mistake of buying a fan, and since then we haven't really had a summer. But it's okay, such is life. And let me just make sure I've told you everything. You see, I'm trying to be a little bit more organized. This is like what's covered in the workbook. And this is also part of the workbook, Oh yeah, these are the references that I've mentioned. So I've done one for Venice, I've done one for Malta, I've done one for Kew Gardens. There are free versions for Ko-fi members as well. And I think now we can go paint, shall we? How's everyone doing? Is anyone painting along? You'll send our heat. We need the heat. It's like I've got a blanket on. It's not like super, super cold. In the day, it's fine, but it's not warm. Oh, and yeah, thank you. My bad. Please like the video if you're watching and you're enjoying this. It does let YouTube know that live streams are also enjoyed, which is great. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. But it's I'm hoping that the fan will actually come in use. But literally the week that I bought it, since then, there's been like next to nothing. Let me. Thank you, watercolorist. And let's see. So I looked at a few references. I think it's just these three. Yeah, I looked at a few references that I wanted to consider, and I'm leaning towards this one. Or maybe this one. So this one was actually sent in by a subscriber, Kelly H. I won't say her full name for like privacy reasons, but she sent the most beautiful references. I don't even know. I think it's from her time in New Zealand, and this was one of them. But I think I am leaning towards this one, which was actually one that we were going to do on Ko-fi, but we painted a lot that session, and this one was just a little bit too complex to end it on. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see how it'll go. That's the beauty of live streams, right? We never know if it's we never know because I didn't practice them beforehand. We never fully know exactly how it's going to go. But hopefully it will be fine. Let me just get everything ready so that we can see. Ta-da. Can you see I'm trying to like be more internet savvy? So this painting, thank you, Extra Glue. This painting and this painting and these paintings are, this one, and this one are all from the gouache course. And I'm gonna do a tiny one later on, but actually I want to do this one on a slightly bigger piece of paper. So on there, as well as like discussing composition and everything, we spoke about color and my favorite / most used colors. Just to highlight the ones that I tend to lean towards, it's these colors. So lots of yellows, lots of blues, a brown and a white. And I think the primary reason is just that I like to mix greens. So naturally I keep picking lots of different greens and lots of different yellows and lots of different blues so that I can mix my own greens. So I'm going to be using the Etcher Everyday Sketchbook in B5 size. And let me know, you also painting along? I'm thinking I might do a sketchbook tour at some point. In theory, I don't know, I find it hard to concentrate through the really long sketchbook tours, which is why I'm thinking to just be doing like midway point sketchbook tours. Let me know if that's something that you would like, or would you prefer just like to see the finished, finished products. Let's should I? I'm seeing if I have my kneaded eraser to hand. Yes, I do. Because initially I was going to do the swatches for the gouache in here, which is why I'd kind of like highlighted my favorite colors on here. But in the end, I just decided to do it on the De La Rani paper and save this for something a little bit more substantial. The beauty of gouache is that even if it doesn't all completely come off, we'll be able to cover it, which is good. So I'll be using my Etcher Everyday Sketchbook, which has quickly become one of my absolute favorite sketchbooks. We already know this. The cover is the only thing I'll change. Oh, hey, Derwood. We literally just started, so you've got perfect timing. And hey, Lilabelle, Lou from Michigan. And I've got my Winsor & Newton designer gouache in my Stay Wet palette. I did let it dry out because I wasn't sure. Work has been really busy this week. I think, I will have worked like 7 days in a row. So I didn't think I would get the opportunity to paint. But, when inspiration strikes, you just have to go with it, which is why this random live stream has started. And then I have some palette paper that I normally get from The Works, which is like a kids craft store. I just literally get the cheapest one that I can find. I used it throughout the course. I'll use it for weeks to come. And I find the pads come with 30 pages and they normally last me well over a year. So I know it's not as great as just using something that you can wash off. Although, to be fair, you could also wash these off. There's no reason why you can't do it. Sorry, I'm just trying to peel my tape in case you're wondering what I'm trying to do with such concentration. Because it's just, you know, when it's all tearing apart. Okay. And I double checked, this is magic tape. I know that magic tape is not meant to come off, but this is what I have been using. Scotch magic tape, in case you're curious. I normally like the one that's thinner. So this one is probably 12 millimeters or a centimeter or so. But they also have one that's like 7 millimeters. And I feel like that is just so nice. Unfortunately, it is so ridiculous. Like the price just completely jumped up. I think initially when I bought it, it was already on the expensive side. But because I like I don't know, I like the look of it, how easily it comes off, and also how easy it is to reuse, just easily tear it off. I thought it was fine. And then I think doubled the price, and it's just ridiculous. I can't buy it anymore. So I'm going to try and make these last for as long as they can, and then I'll just start using washi tape or masking fluid like everyone else. For brushes, I'm going to be using let me show you the shapes. So I'm going to be using my oval wash, which is like a filbert shape. I'm also going to be using my a small round. I'm not brand specific or brand loyal when it comes to brushes. I'm not gonna lie. Like there are some brushes that I really love for watercolor, but for gouache, I think as long as it can hold a good amount of water and it's a bit stiff, it will work. So even the De La Rowney is a student grade. The Himimiya is student. Acrylic brushes I feel like work quite nicely as well. Etcher also have brushes. So I think the Etcher brushes are better if you like softer brushes. They're slightly firmer than watercolor brushes and they hold more water than acrylic brushes. But I tend to prefer something a little bit firmer. The Scotch tape hurts. Why does it hurt? It's so like, look at this. It's just so like nice. Just tear it there, done. I think that's what spoilt me. And I know you can do the same with like masking tape, but I think what I was finding is that the like masking tape, sometimes the watercolor, especially if I was using like really watery washes, would go underneath. So I didn't like that. Whereas with this, I tend to find less leakage. Hey, Dark Roast, welcome. I'm curious, did anyone get anything in the latest Jackson sale? I kind of broke my no buy. To be fair, it lasted like what? It's lasted a few weeks. So let's give credit where credit is due. But there were just a few things I wanted to get, including cool. Good night, a watercolorist. Forget if I need to start doing 2 live streams. Some at times that makes sense for people in my time zone, and the rest for when I'm nocturnal like I am tonight. Yeah, I want to try the Caddy Fat book as well. Which brushes did you get, Miss Ebony? Or I was really tempted by the Igalo set, the 12 set. Let me know, because I'm kind of curious. I guess I could also check like haul videos as well. But if you buy a Gallo from Jackson's, does it still come with like, you know, all the beautiful almost like, not, you know, decoration, the papers, like all those little touches that they do? Or is that only if you buy during the A Gallo restock from the company themselves? Let me know, because if anyone knows, I'm kind of curious. I think at some point I will probably end up getting a Gallo, realistically. And I even had it in my basket, but then when I looked at the total, I was like, total was just a little bit ridiculous. So I had to control myself and just tell myself, I don't know, maybe for a milestone, maybe for like, you know, 10,000, should we get to 10,000 subscribers or something, I'll treat myself to like a nice palette. Miss Ebony, you got the rest of the Raven brushes. That's the thing, right? I understand what you're saying, Miss Ebony, because I was kind of feeling that way to the point that I asked you guys, like, is there anything that I don't have or I haven't tried that you would recommend or you would like to see on the channel? Because it almost felt like I have quite a lot of supplies, and even when I was looking at the watercolors, there were sets that I wanted, but then at the same time, um I have a lot of paints, right? It did actually motivate me. I was like, the next good sale, it can't be like this. I need to like run that, like use up my supplies so that the next sale I can restock and like really have fun with it. I felt like I had to exercise self-control. I'm gonna change this ever so slightly to make it more like this, like an actual lighthouse. So that's like my aim, use up supplies so that next restock I can, sorry, the next sale I can restock and not have to have a significant amount of restraint like I did this time. Oh, the Jane Blundell set. It's beautiful. Where are my my swatch books in my bedroom? I don't know why, but but I did do a video where I swatched them all out. If you guys are interested, I can also link that down below. I'm trying to keep notes of stuff that I keep saying I'll link down below. Jane Blundell set, numero uno. And you guys already know, extra 10% off discount. I feel like the discount help. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, the extra. I honestly couldn't believe it. And I tried it myself. I hope that it lasts. They haven't said how long yet, but we'll see. So I'm just doing like a rough sketch of the shapes. I have changed the composition slightly. So if you're on Ko-fi, you may know that the original composition, or the original picture, sorry, is actually landscape, and it's a lot wider. Still a beautiful reference, but I trimmed off the edges, which was one change that I made. And the other thing that I kind of did is, although you can't see it, I put the lighthouse slightly off center. And I think one of the things that I really enjoyed about this reference, that's going to be a bit tricky to try and depict, is just if I move my mouse, can you see it over the picture? Oh no, let me know. But I just like the leading lines, almost the fact that there's a path leading to the lighthouse, and it's just like windy, and also just the feel and the colors. So I was really drawn to this beautiful reference. And I think it just complements very nicely everything that we discussed during the course. And also I thought that it would be nice to perhaps do on a live stream, because I don't know, initially looking at it, I feel like it is a beautiful reference, but I also feel like this sense of almost like intimidation, like like there's a lot of details. Am I going to get it right? How am I going to simplify it? And cropping it was one step of doing that, but that's why I thought it would be nice to do together. The other thing is, you can kind of see that the horizon line is right here on the image, which is nice. It's like 2/3 up. But the other thing is that I tend to try and avoid lines meeting. So what I mean by that is that I don't like the horizon line meeting the top of the roof or the top of a hill or the top of everything. I don't want everything to be a completely straight line. So what I'm actually going to do is just raise the horizon line a little bit so that there's like a bit of difference between the hill and the actual horizon. Let me get that down. And then, so that's there. And then you can see in the background that there are mountains, and we'll just end that there. And you can see that, beautiful atmospheric perspective that we were talking about, in that it's paler, it's white, it's paler, and it's also leaning a bit more blue. And then we have rocks here. I don't know, I feel like I've made them gigantic, so I might make them a bit smaller so that they make sense. Because I like that they're there, because I don't want it to just be completely empty in the water, but I also don't need it to be like the main focal point. I know it touches the hill, but I kind of want a little bit of separation. So there'll be somewhere here. But as you'll see, I'll cover it anyway and then decide where I'm going to put it. I think the little color cards that come with the Egala paints are so cute. I do on them. I've seen, honestly, it's the presentation that really like tips me over. So you got the single pans and they were packaged nicely, but don't know about the single pads. I might just try to see different like Jackson's hauls and see if people have bought them and just gather, because that's also like I really love the presentation. Cool. Is anyone painting along? No pressure if not, but curious. Okay, curious to know. And again, gentle reminder, please, if you haven't done the feedback, please do it when you get a chance. I literally like just waited. Oh no, can you see it now? Dark roast? When when I finished the course, I literally just like waited for the feedback, and it did make me think, like, all these companies that just ask you for feedback over and over. I was always like, oh, why do they insist? But I was just genuinely like, because I think it took a while for the feedback to come. So then I was like, does that mean that it wasn't good and people just don't want to tell me, or or what exactly is going on? And then the feedback did start coming and it was like absolutely amazing, but I just, still I am curious. So I'm starting off with a super light layer, mapping out like the lightest areas. And as I say, I use my first layer as a completely low pressure way of mapping out colors and seeing if I'm mixing the right colors. Do I like them? Getting rid of the white of the page. I think this is one thing that like really attracts me to gouache, just the freedom that you can have. To me, this is the bit that feels low pressure, because I don't tend to plan very much before painting. And I feel like that sometimes works in my detriment when it comes to watercolor. But with gouache, it's just so forgiving. I was like, okay, I don't need to plan. I'm just going to do this first layer and take it from there. Oh, cool. Oh, thank you. It's available for a month for Ko-fi members. So if you, which I think I forgot to mention, so if you are interested in doing it, I'd say do it in August. That's all right, Daniela. Oh, thank you, Brianna. It's so funny you mentioned that, because I think that it started happening in terms of like my colors changing. It started happening when I started when we did the art challenge on color on Ko-fi. I didn't like fully notice, but when we did that art challenge, for some reason, I then really started feeling complementary colors, and my color palettes just got brighter and brighter, and I've just absolutely been loving it. So it's been a mixture of a whole bunch of different things, but it's just so, yeah, it definitely feels like I'm going through a phase. Like, people have the blue phase, the this phase, that phase. Unintentional, but it's definitely the colors that I'm being drawn to at the moment. And I'm sure with time that will change again as well. But such is the beauty of art, right? Oh, thank you. Can you see everyone else now? Yeah, I guess so, because you're replying. So just laying down the colors, seeing do they make sense, seeing what kind of mixes do I like, what kind of mixes I'm not going to like. And when I'm doing this, I'm just looking at the main colors. Like, to me, the hills are greens and yellows. So those are the colors that I'm putting in. I'm not putting in details as of yet. And because I can do that later. So I'm just trying to be relatively loose and put in the main colors. And sometimes also, if I see like a color that I'm not sure about, or is it going to be tricky? Does it make sense or whatever? Then I will add that color as well, because like I said, this is my chance to practice the color mixing. I'm going to mix some yellow into that yellow ochre. And some more yellow. Because I'm wondering, how bright do I want this area right here? Do I want it super bright or not? Let me add some yellow ochre. In theory, the things that are closer in the foreground are more saturated, they're more detailed, but then it's also very much dependent on what you want your focus to be. Oh, hey, Angela. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. I'm glad you can see everyone now, Dark Roast. Not really sure what was going on with YouTube. Saturday morning. That is wild. Time differences, no? It's like 12:40 here. So just past midnight, which is wild. But yeah, I've been picking up extra shifts. So I've been, I was just so tired today when I got back from work. I stopped by an art store, just, get a pick me up. Got the Saunders and Waterford sketchbooks, right? Saunders and Waterford sketchbooks for £6.45. Wild. 20 pages, 40 sheets. No, 20 sheets, 40 pages. So I got that, and then I started thinking like, that's such a good deal. I'm not even sure if it's a mistake. Maybe I should go back and get some more. And I set an alarm to go back, to make my way back to the art store, but I was so tired that I completely slept past the alarm and then woke up late. And at that point, now full of energy, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go live. Been meaning to go live for a while. Let's do it. I'm also trying to embrace going live now that just, editing isn't as pleasant as it used to be. So I'm just trying to actually make use of going live, because I still enjoy that aspect. It obviously comes with the caveat that it's not watched by as many people. It doesn't positively impact the channel or, the algorithm as much as everything else. But at least it still means that we get to paint together and hang out together, and I still quite like it. So using that cobalt turquoise light to do the water, I'm just going to add a little bit of yellow to it as well. Like, I just want to add some color variations, don't want it to just be one big flat color. Again, we'll probably go over it anyway. Usually with my first layer, which is super light and, watery and almost like watercolor, I will go over it. But every so often, in this super low pressure way of painting and adding color and doing what I like and experimenting, there'll be like something that's really nice that, like, like a, well, that's not what I want. Like not a bloom, like blending that's really nice or something. So sometimes if I get anything special like that, then I will actually let that first layer show. But if not, absolutely no pressure. I'm going to cover it anyway, and that's completely fine. I'm gonna add some white as we just to get a bit of variation of color, and also it's a test run, no? And see like, oh, does it make sense when I add white? Does it make sense when I add yellow? Do I like the little hints of green there? Thank you so much. I'm glad. You know what? I try to be. I am hand on heart trying to be more organized in terms of like letting people know when I go live, and even like with the Zoom calls and stuff. If I could just do impromptu Zoom sessions, I would. But I'm trying to be better about actually letting people know. But it's so um not in my nature. And I think not only that, like a lot of the time it is genuinely like I woke up from sleep and I was like, I want to go live. Like that's it. And then the only thing that took a while was like getting the references and setting up the live stream and Mm. Dana, I tried to do a portrait. When was it? Was it yesterday or the day before? Following Michele Baiano on the summer creative retreat. If you don't know about that, it's quite good. It's been really interesting. I've only watched that one day, to be fair, but it's really good. It's by Pigeon Letters, and basically what she does is she's got over 60 artists to create content, like 1 hour or half an hour or 45-minute classes, sharing everything from like gouache, watercolor, lettering. So and it's free if you watch it live now. Because it started on, when did it start? It started on Tuesday. I think there's only one day left. So you can watch today for free. And then there's tomorrow that will be free as well. And then you can also watch the content that's made tomorrow on Sunday. But today's content will stop tomorrow. If that makes sense. Um, so I was watching his painting process and it was just so wild. Like my painting looked nothing like his. I think when it comes to watercolor, I'm definitely still at a place where I am overworking my landscapes. Um, but I think with time, I'll get better at like not doing that. Especially because I do want to be able to do looser watercolor landscapes. Um, but yeah, so when it comes to portraits, it was even it was very, very humbling. But it's okay, like there are phases, there are stages to everything. Can't be perfect straight away. And there's like this happy accident that I created an eye, and I absolutely loved the way it looked. Oh, thank you, Brianna. And dark roast. Yeah, I'm really feeling brighter colors. Maybe I'm trying to will summer to start. Yeah. I eventually concluded, even though the portrait did not look like I wanted it to, at least there must be one thing that I like in it or that I enjoy in it. So it's not bad. I shared it actually on my Instagram story. I've been really active on Instagram stories of late. So just enjoy. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, I'm so sorry, Brianna. Get well soon. I'm glad that it's a comforting stream. I feel like the streams, in a way, are also my comforting technique. Does that make sense? Like I do it because I find them comforting and relaxing. Just wondering if I should make that sky a little bit darker, but in hindsight, I think I should actually have just left it lighter. So let me just add some white to that. I don't want it to be dull, but I do want it to be lighter. one of the exercises that we, not exercises, but, challenge and things that we did last month was like on tonal values. And from doing that privately as well, I realized that I do tend to make my skies darker than they should be a lot of the time. So here's to self-improvement. There's like hints of yellow. I don't tend to like I'm not a sky person. I can't explain it. I'm not that. Kind of wonder if I should add the yellow. That's not really the color that it is it? Again, just doing that first layer so I can experiment and I can see, do I want hints of yellow in it or do I not? It's almost like in my head like a yellow ochre, but doesn't really make sense to have yellow ochre in the sky, does it? And yet that's what I see. So we'll see. Okay, that's fine. So first big shapes all done. Yeah, that's what I thought as well. It does look a little bit brown. So I'm going to mute you as I dry this, and then we can work on doing our second layer that's going to be less watered down, still relatively big shapes, but not as big as we've been doing at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to mute you. I am back. Now, looking at the colors, so we know in my head, sun is coming from this side, right hand side. So most of the yellows and everything are going to be towards that side, or the whatever planes are facing that way, if that makes sense. And everything else that's a little bit darker is going to be here. So I'm probably going to start with a darker color and go from there. So I'm going to start here. Which I know, does that make sense? No, I'm not going to start from there. That can stay there for now, but I'm thinking I'll start from the sky. I'll work my way down. So going to pick up some white and some of that cobalt turquoise light. And with a thicker consistency, I'm going to mix the sky. And I'm probably going to leave it a little bit more, like add a little bit more white than anything here, so that I can then add that tiny bit of, whoops, not red, but that tiny bit of yellow ochre on top without making green. And then take some of that cobalt turquoise light, cleaning my brush and just blending all of that. Then as I do that, I'm also going to filling the mountains in the background, mountains or hills, unclear. Just making it a little bit warmer, and I'm fine if it blends into the sky a little bit. I sometimes like that kind of effect. And normally I keep using the bigger brush, but I don't want to keep making this bit bigger than it needs to be. So I'm just going to switch to my smaller brush for a little bit so that I can get the mountain right. And pick up some white and mix that as well. That looks like a bear. Completely accidental bear. Because I was going to start it, but then if I start, just in terms of my thought process, if I start in the middle, then if I start in the middle and it's an area that I don't want to be bleeding into other areas, because I want it to be in focus, then I just have to wait for it to dry again. That's literally my thought process. Whereas if I start on the sky, I can do the sky, do this bit, let this bit dry if I want it to, or I can let it blend into the water, and that will be completely fine. It won't, mess up. It's just my thought process. Is it going out of focus for you? I feel like it keeps focusing on my hand instead of the painting, but hopefully it's not too bad. I'll try and keep my hand out of frame where possible. So just taking some of that Prussian blue as well. And basically I'm doing like smaller mountains in front of the big mountain. So the one that's further in the distance, I'm just giving up on the Prussian blue, it's just crumbling. But the ones that are further in the distance are paler, and the ones that are closer are a little bit darker, but still not massively dark, because I want the focus to be like this area here. Does that make sense? Oh, thank you so much. Honestly, I keep forgetting, but I appreciate it. I'm very lucky to have you guys in the chat looking out for me. So now I'm going to do the water, the sea, the ocean, who knows. Starting off with that cobalt turquoise, you can see that it's like started to blend. Again, I don't mind because it's going to be out of focus. It just makes it, when it's blending like that by itself, it just makes it look a bit out of focus, which for me is fine. It's the aim, it's the purpose, because it's in the distance anyway. And I feel like it just makes the transition a little bit more seamless. So that's fine. It won't be the case all the time that I'll want it, but sometimes I genuinely don't mind it. I'm also going horizontally to follow the direction that the waves would be going, because it wouldn't, sometimes you do see brush strokes and it wouldn't make sense for the brush strokes to be going up and down if you're painting the sea. I think that would be a little bit distracting to look at. Like you would see something is off. And that's a little bit paler than I want it to be. Just adding some white to the mixture that we've been making. And I'm going into the hill, right? Because I'm going to be able to layer on top. So I don't want it to stop just before the hill. So I'm dragging it in. So just a gentle reminder that if you're interested in the gouache course, it is available for sale on my Ko-fi at the moment, and the workbook as well. And if you're a Ko-fi member, then you have access to the course itself for August for free. Just keep, whoops, picked up some of that bear. Okay. Trying to see how it's looking. I think it's looking good. I'm just also like thinking, is there enough of a enough of a difference in the water? I don't want it to all be one tonal value. That would be not my preference. So I'm adding like little bits of white so it's getting lighter as it's coming towards us, and more blue at the top. We've already got those hints of yellow that's making it look green. It's nice and hazy in some parts, which is good. Adding some ultramarine blue here for like a little shadow. That again is like a little bit of focus, out of focus, sorry, because it's blending, because it's like wet paint on wet paint. But that's okay, because it's almost like it's doing the work for you, you know? Oh, you take my thing is with painting that I need to be one and done. So if I were to be like, oh, I'm gonna, I mean, I would never stop it at this point purely because I don't like I would, if the White House was painted and the lines weren't all clearly going into the hills, and I said, oh, I'm going to leave it here and then come back, I'm not coming back to that painting. Like I like to be one and done. I don't tend to like going back and, you know, tweaking and things. And that's a big reason why I don't do oil as well. Like the drying time for me just seems a bit wild. So everything has their pros and cons. You can take breaks, which means, you know, you can look at things with fresh eyes. And oh, I think I'm losing my crisp edges, but you know, you can look at things with like fresh eyes and make necessary changes. For me, it's like, yeah, no, just needs to be done. Feel free, Miss Ebony. Honestly, I love Etcher. I'm surprised you don't have any Etcher. I'm surprised, Miss Ebony. I would have thought that you would have their sketchbooks and whatnot. I have like a lot of their stuff. I have, yeah, yeah. No, I'm definitely one and done. Now, I am probably gonna dry this so that we can start from the the lighthouse, and do it calmly. I think they're really good. I can flip through the sketchbook if you, or answer any questions that you have about the sketchbooks. I'm laughing to myself because I saw Mrs. Ebony's message. But I've used their sketchbooks for an array of different things, watercolors, gouache, as we're doing now. This is obviously one of their sketchbooks for watercolor, for mixed media, and even yesterday, I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, but when I did the portrait, I think I could really, I could really see the difference because I put loads of layers and it handled it. So that was actually quite nice and quite impressive for a sketchbook. In terms of their watercolors, I haven't used their normal, you know, their normal watercolors, but I have used their golden watercolors, and that I love. That's in my Roma Schmall palette now because I and that is what is that what inspired? Yeah, that's what inspired the touches of gold that I started adding to my florals. So all the gold that you've seen in my florals, they've all been the Etcher, I think it's Royal Gold. I'll need to look at the swatch. But those are that. And then I also have the Etcher Slate Mini. And it's funny because it's funny. First disclaimer, it was a gift. So they gifted it to me. I didn't buy it. Um, and then when they gifted it to me, my first thought slash concern was that it's heavy. Like it felt heavy to me. What is better before I finish my story? Um, I like portrait. So I don't think it's a question of better. I think it's a question of like what you like to create. Um, so even when I'm painting landscapes, I like to paint landscapes in portrait orientation. My florals are in portrait orientation, but I know quite a few people like landscape. But portrait is definitely my go-to. In fact, it's one of the things that helped me on a no buy because I was like, if it's not portrait, I'm not buying it. um, Yeah, exactly that what Dark Roast mentioned. So if you have like versatility, if you want to do a portrait orientation, then you just do one page. If you want it to be landscape orientation, you can use both pages. Like for me, portrait is for the win. But anyway, I have the Etcher Slate Mini, which is like a drawing board. And my first thought was like, oh, it's heavy. Am I going to use it? But then ever since I started using them, I just use them all the time. I thought that I wouldn't use it as much, um, but I did, and I do. And when I go on holiday, I take it with me, and also at home, it's currently on my couch. It's just helpful. I just didn't think. I don't know. I didn't think it would have weight to it, but it does. Now let's start on the hill. But what have you? What is your experience with Etcher been? I've done like a few polls asking, favorite art supplies, and one of them was favorite watercolor sketchbook because I feel like there's a lot of talk on like great sketchbooks and stuff, but a lot of them don't have watercolor paper, and I feel like you're just yeah, they don't have great watercolor paper. Is the way that I can end it. And I almost wanted like, a low pressure sketchbook that can actually handle watercolor. Like just because it's low pressure doesn't mean that it oh no. Just because it's low pressure doesn't mean that it has to not be able to take any watercolor at all. But anyway, that was my thought process behind asking that poll. Etcher won by a mile. A mile being a mile. When we say that, we mean a big distance, right? In terms of like a mile, not an inch. So Etcher was numero uno, which is great. I'm slowly trying to make this sketchbook and the portrait sketchbook so the Etcher sketchbooks my low pressure sketchbooks. I don't know if I'll be able to fully do it. I have quite a few of their sketchbooks now, so I feel like that gives me confidence to be able to just use it, but they are on the pricier side and they are quite good quality. But then like the Mightier pencil also mentioned, sometimes just having good quality supplies can encourage you to use your supplies. So it's a mixture of both. I started off with the Royal Talons sketchbook, and I was using that as like my low pressure sketchbook. I don't really like what I'm doing here. I don't feel like the yellow ochre makes much sense there. But I started using the Royal Talon sketchbook as my low pressure sketchbook, and I mean it worked wonders. I did so much painting, but it's just not great for watercolor or wet mediums. Don't care what no one says. Like you'll be able to do it, but you won't. It's just not. I feel as good as other sketchbooks in that respect. But using it and getting excited about painting and experimenting is what I don't want this to be completely symmetrical, so I might actually extend that there. So using it and experimenting it is what got me really excited, and that's what actually got me to start using the Etcher sketchbook in a more free way, because I was having so much fun and I just wanted to actually use good quality paper and also have fun. So I'm just blending this hill here, trying to see if the colors are making more sense. Not following the reference totally, because I guess here on the reference, this bit is quite dark, but I don't want it to be dark. Let me catch up. Some people, square people. Yeah. See, I don't know. I haven't got, or I don't tend to use square as much. I was looking at it. My interest in square was the possibility that, oh, okay, if I do like Instagram stuff, it might look a bit more appealing. Um, but I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe, although to be to be fair, I do not need any more sketchbooks. I'm thinking of doing another sketchbook challenge. You remember when I did the 10 hours challenge? I'm thinking of doing either like a sketchbook challenge or a 10-hour challenge or something in that vein again when I have some time off. And I think that would be like a good way to get out of my head, to have fun, to create lots of art, and to continue on the, low pressure kind of vibe that I'm going for. Honestly, if you haven't already like dedicated a sketchbook to being low pressure, like I know for some people that is literally the purpose of it, that you're not creating masterpieces in it, you're just experimenting and working through it, and I completely, that's fine. But if you look through my sketchbooks, a lot of the time I just use it to paint. Like I don't tend to do half finished paintings or anything like that. I'll do complete pieces. So having like that low pressure place where I could literally just create anything, mess around. There's still usually like finished pieces, but I could at least experiment a bit more without feeling wasteful. Absolute game changer. If you haven't done it already, I recommend it. And I think it's worth having, like, because a lot of the time, let me actually make sure I'm not missing something you guys are saying. Yeah, use up my sketchbook cord. I'm definitely at that place. I shouldn't be buying more sketchbooks, but £6 for Saunders sketchbook was just too much for me to pass off. The paper sale was also very, very tempting because I love the Etcher sketchbooks, and that's a really good time to stock up. A Hoo Mixpedia sketchbook. I will look into that. Oh, Miss Ebony, don't forget the 10% discount. It's Sketches 10. Yeah, it's the Royal Talons one is this one. And as I say, I think I was showing you the paintings before. So like I don't know if you ignore that. It's Prussian Blue and I having a disagreement over it actually staying on the page. So I don't know if you can see it, like it takes it this is gouache, right? So it took the gouache. Gouache is very forgiving though, it will work in most places. But if it's like super watery, then I think it just struggles a little bit and starts peeling. I don't mind buckling, it's peeling that I mind. Do you know what I mean? And not actually being able to layer when I want to layer. So if I do like one layer and stuff, that's fine. So you can do stuff, but I think it's like when I started doing things like this, I was like, actually, I'm having lots of fun and I want to keep experimenting, which I did. And then I was like, I wonder if I can start experimenting on nicer quality paper. So it can take watercolor. The buckle isn't crazy, but I feel like it doesn't take watercolor well. It's got no texture, no tooth. It's cream paper, and if you keep going, you will peel the paper. Um, when I did things like this, so this is like an array of different medias as well. I don't know. I might make a video about it because I feel like there's a lot of mixed opinions. Some people really, really highly recommend it, and I think that it does work very well for some. But I think again, it just depends on what kind of painting you're doing. So I'm going to pick up my most used color in gouache is yellow. Like I run through yellow and white like absolute no man's business, which means very quickly. Oh, those were really great. I feel, do I have an Ohuhu? No, I don't have an Ohuhu. I might try it, to be honest. I feel like, how can I say what is my favorite if I don't try them all? It's not legit, by the way. Going to add more yellow. I know, right? We better become super expert at everything. But no, I'm definitely thinking to just do a whole bunch of challenges. Maybe we'll do it on Kofi. I wouldn't do like the 10-hour challenge on Kofi per se because I'm not trying to encourage people to do that. I don't know if it's healthy. Don't know if it's actually good for you. Pretty sure it's not. But I don't know. It's just what I want to do. I really enjoyed it last time. So picking up some of that blue, gonna add some of that yellow that we're running out of. Oh, you can't even see one. Yeah, got my palette here. But you can see my mixing space. I think that's the main gist. And just letting the gouache mix. So wet gouache mixing with wet gouache and letting it do its thing. And getting some of that yellow ochre and mixing that in as well. And I don't want it to be super uniform, you know, I'm dabbing colors here and there. So, because I don't want symmetry, I don't want it to be perfect. And if you don't think about it, all of a sudden you'll realize that everything is looking a little bit, or at least in my case, everything is looking a bit symmetrical, and that was not intentional. I think we like creating symmetry, but sometimes it can make the painting a little bit flat. I think it depends though. I don't think that's a bad thing to just, you know, I think it depends on your aim. Like when I did the 10-hour challenge, I really did feel conflicted because I was like, oh, you know, it would be wonderful to actually complete a sketchbook and be able to make a video and be like, look, I finished a sketchbook in 10 hours. Like, but then at the same time, I was like, oh, but I really want to do gouache landscapes at that point. And there's no way I can finish, you know, lots and lots of landscapes in 10 hours, like a sketchbook worth of landscapes. I don't think, unless I was like very intentional and made them all time studies. But it's a balance of like wanting to learn and gain something out of it and also like enjoying the process. I can't just, you know, why am I adding, I don't know why I feel like adding blue, but add a little hint of blue. So I think that's completely fine. Like it depends on what you want. We all work at different paces. So I may do a mixture of things, may do some time studies, may do some where I literally just let myself paint. I do think like time studies are very beneficial in that you're just forced to create more and to learn more, I find, and quite quickly. But then I may learn more but I may not always necessarily enjoy the process depending on how quickly I'm doing it. So again, I think it's a balance. Yeah, that's why you paint or draw for 10 hours straight. When I did it, I actually did, I think I painted for 6 hours first day and then went to sleep, woke up, and then painted the remaining 4 hours. But I could either do that or do like a 1 day painting. I don't know. I've just got a whole bunch of different ideas for like art challenges that I want to do because I want to like do more painting. And I feel like the art challenge was a good way to motivate myself to do so. So I might just do, and especially I think I'm feeling it now even more so because I'm really keen to do more landscapes and more landscape paintings. I find it so funny how I literally just go through phases. Like sometimes all I want to do is paint florals and nothing else. And then sometimes all I want to do is paint landscapes and nothing else. And I have no way of predicting what it's going to be. It just like happens and I just go with it. And sometimes I try to fight it. Like I might be saying all this and say, I'm going to do landscapes, landscapes, landscapes. And then when the time comes, I'm actually like, actually I'm feeling florals and just do florals. But yeah, because sometimes I try to fight it and be like, no, I was planning landscapes, I'm going to do it. But then I don't enjoy it. And I just don't think if it's not enjoyable, I don't think it's worth it. Like, what am I doing it for? It's not, it's not my job. So why am I forcing myself to do something I don't enjoy? Mm, yeah, that's the thing. I think I would have to do a mixture. So I feel like the reason that I've enjoyed doing time studies is because, like, are you guys familiar with Parkinson's law? That if this idea that, a task will occupy the time that you allocate for it, that's like very, very much what tends to happen to me. If you give me 1 hour to do something, I will do it in that 1 hour and it will feel completely reasonable. If you give me 10 minutes to do that same thing, there's a good chance I could get it done in 10 minutes, but I wouldn't have known that. Does that make sense? Like a lot of the time is like that. So I find that if I'm painting under timed conditions, sometimes it's just been like a really good way of just adding little hints of contrast here and there. It's just been like a really good way sometimes of just getting me to actually paint at a decent pace. I feel like half an hour is my sweet spot um, for landscapes, probably. So if I'm going over half an hour, it's probably because I'm distracted or I'm going to start overworking something or I'm doing a live stream. So obviously, like during live streams, I'm chatting, I'm doing like a whole bunch of stuff. But if I'm not actually doing a live stream and it's taking me a lot longer, then it's just because I haven't planned on doing anything else. So I think if I were to do like half an hour time studies, that would be helpful. Some studies that I perhaps add no time at all and just see what happens. That would probably also be helpful. Some that I'm perhaps like 10 minutes just to see. I think I'll just do like an array of different things. Um, but yeah, that's definitely like it's not only something I'm planning, it's something that I'm looking forward to, like the idea of just being able to paint. Mm, in a nice, relaxed manner. It's just fantastic. I want some more yellow ochre. I think some more yellow, just making it a little bit brighter. Just blending. And I think I'm going to do some, I can't believe I'm running out of yellow already. I'm going to do some brighter green here as well. Brighter still. And like some yellow ochre. And then just blend it. Oh, this is so cute. Oh, thank you, Dark Rose. You're too kind. I love that you guys are like getting to know each other. I do think we have a super awesome community. I'm not gonna lie. And oh, guys, I can't believe it. I got to the point where I'd replied to pretty much like I'd either replied or hearted every single comment that I have received on my channel. It was such a monumental feeling of accomplishment because it was thousands, thousands of messages, which I absolutely love because that's why like we know each other, right? That's why I know you, and and what you like to paint and what you like to create. Like I absolutely loved it. Um, but I kept feeling bad for taking so long to reply. So actually hitting zero was just incredible. Um, just knowing that I've replied to everyone and hopefully no one feels ignored and everyone understands why it took me for some people months to reply. And the thing is, right, with the comments, I will always read the comments like the same day or the day after. I'm always checking comments. My thing is, and I'm also like this in my personal life, like with texts and stuff, that I will check it and then I'll think, oh, I need to think about a reply, and then that's the bit that will take time. Like you think about the reply and then you come back to reply and there's some like another message and you're like, oh, I'll think about that reply, and that's what ends up taking me so long. I'm just wondering about this reference in terms of like this bit right here at the front. I feel like I know what I'm gonna do. Do I want something there? I'm just trying to figure out what details I'm going to add here. I'm going to take some of that green, mix it in with the burnt umber. I need more yellow. Just trying to see how I'm going to do the front in a way that makes sense, because I know that on the reference there's almost like a little caveat here. Just trying to work out whether I want that dark value here the way it is. Maybe it's not a bad thing, but I almost want it to be like going like this. So I might do that there. I hope it's making sense. Yeah, this honestly, this giving me Ringo Starr. I don't know what that is. Yeah, never mind. Like no, for me, I am notoriously bad amongst my friends for replying late and work, to be honest. Like if it's not an emergency, because if it's like an emergency or something urgent, then the reply in my head comes straight away. It's like, oh yeah, yes, I can work that shift. No, I didn't do this. Yes, I'll sort that out. But if it's something like, hey, I don't know, if it's anything else, anything that isn't like 100% clear cut or something, or like the nice heartfelt messages, I'm like, I can't just do this reply in like 2 seconds. I need to think about it. Or like a lot of the comments sometimes would be like, oh, what is this thing that you're using, and I don't I'll think like, oh, I need to find a link for them, or or questions on like, how do you do this, how do you do that, stuff that I can't answer straight away. They really do take me a while of like coming back and being like, oh yeah, I need to do that. And if I reply, even if I were to say, oh, I'll look for a link and I'll send it to you or something like that, then it disappears from my YouTube studio. So I won't be able to find that comment anymore. So I have to leave them unanswered in order for me to actually be able to have the prompt to go back to answer. Hope that makes sense. Anyway, everyone's been super nice and supportive about it. Like, it's fine. Most people are like, wow, I can't believe you're still replying. I think this should be lighter up here. No. Oh, what did I miss, Dana? Yeah, I know. Oh, I do that. I do that as well. I definitely do that. But I'm trying to get better at it. And also, yeah, I feel like my closest friends just extend so much grace because they know this about me. Life is busy, I'm liking this. Not gonna lie, I'm liking this a lot. Oh, Chris, you're too sweet. Yeah. I considered once, like literally just doing a live stream where I read out the comments and I reply, but I feel like that must, like, I then felt that would completely defeat the point because I don't think that people would watch a 3-hour live stream where just to see if I managed to reply to their comment. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's just easier for me to reply. Let's do the White House. Lighthouse. I don't know. I keep saying White House because I want to paint it white, but it's the lighthouse. And I don't know why I'm letting myself struggle with this gigantic brush. uh And then, no, you guys are too sweet because I do appreciate it. And I feel like if I don't reply, how will you know that I'm telling the truth about actually reading your comments? Oh, hope my phone's still charging. The funniest comments, almost thought-provoking comments. Yeah, I might do that one day, or maybe I'll just do hate comments. Can you imagine? Just put everything out there for everyone to see. No, to be fair, I think we have such a wonderful community that I don't actually get many hate comments, and more times than not, when I do, I just block and move on. I think Temi Dancer did that actually. She's an artist on YouTube, and she did a video where she was like replying to the hate comments. It's like, raw. You gotta let them know if people are bold enough to, talk like that. She didn't. I don't even think she obscured the names. I think it was just like, oh, this person said this, so that we can all see in full glory. No, it's fine. Like honestly, it's minimal hate. Because I think I just feel very blessed. I think we just have a very, very lovely community. Like good vibes. Everyone's coming here, to relax and to engage with people who understand the beauty of art and who can like be happy for you and the art supplies that you've bought and 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 the art projects that you're doing. Like, just adding some more white and mixing the two together to get a bit more of a shadow and a gradient that makes sense. It's too watery. Like I have a piece of, if you're wondering, on my right hand side next to my water, I also have a piece of like a paper towel that I just use to dab off the excess water, because water control is everything. Just trying to also blend that out here. Sorry, I'll look up in 1 second. I can see that the chat is moving. I just can't see what's being said. Tell me. Yeah, no, I completely agree. It does not make sense to me. It is wild. And you know what? Someone even like Natasha Newton was, I think, is one of the first people that I saw really opening up and talking about like the hate comments. I'm like, it's actually wild. It's actually really, really wild that people would just be, use time out of their day to just try and make someone else's day worse. It's like a stranger's day is worse, and this stranger happens to be creating art to try and make the world a better place through it and express themselves and spread joy. I find it wild. Like, absolutely, I don't understand it at all. How am I feeling about this let me stick this down. I missed a comment. Anita, I do a 3-hour drawing marathon 2 times a year. The teacher starts off by having us draw one single object, then objects. Then he will say to draw one. He says moving up. Anita, I don't understand the end of the message. So he gives you like one item at a time and you literally just keep painting and drawing for 3 hours. That sounds kind of fun. For 10 hours, you could start painting one object, then increase the number of objects to paint. Also say one word for viewers to paint, increasing it to a phrase for viewers to paint from memory. Oh, so you mean, I like it. Almost sounds like, like a marathon, a relay, or we could do that, to be fair. I don't know. My only thing is, I don't know if I could live stream. I could live stream for 10 hours, but I wouldn't then. I don't know how much. I feel like if I was painting on my own for 10 hours, I would personally myself get more out of it, obviously, because I would be doing less of the lighting and the admin side of everything. But I do think that it's a fun idea to do it with everyone anyway. Maybe not for 10 hours, but certainly we could do that. I think I can start the comment and then hopefully I'll be able to see it later on. Thank you, Anita. Oh, thank you. Guys, a reminder for all of us. Stretch. Oh, I'm so stiff. But you know what? Last time I was live, some very, very sweet people created a massage fund for me, and I can't wait to use it. I think I'm gonna use it for like a massage, and I'm turning away, a massage and a hammam. So stretch if you haven't stretched already. Oh, I actually got in touch with Flexi Spot. again, because I wanted to see if they would want to collaborate. And I would, can you see how stiff I am? Like this side can't move. I've had like a few difficult deliveries recently, and like I've hurt myself. I feel like I had, I don't know, like I was already, I had, you know, when you have something that's already tweaked and then you just do something and it takes it the extra step. So like this whole side, but anyway, both sides are just a mess. Um, that's exactly it. And also hydrate, everyone. Cats are stretching as well. Stretches and scrubs. We should do that as like I don't know. I keep I have so many ideas. My issue is always just like actually finding the time and the energy to do it. But one of the ideas that I had was like doing live streams in my morning, almost like not as long as we're doing them now at the moment, but almost like a, you know, half an hour live stream every day or something. So like morning, wake up, paint. I'm not necessarily doing a tutorial, but then we can like paint together. So I've had like this idea of like a morning routine kind of painting session. It would be nice for it to like have stretches at the beginning. It would be like super relaxing, stretch and then paint. Mm. Yeah, I know. I'm looking at this and I know it's not complete, but I kind of like it. Like I almost don't want to add. I feel like, you know, there's all these like there's details, there's shadows, there's so much more that we can add. But then I'm almost like, should I just leave it like this as well? I think I will just add a little bit and see how it goes. Hopefully we don't regret it. But if we do, at least we have the live stream. We'd be able to have this immortalized in our memories forever. Mm. I know. It does look like a beautiful place, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just wondering, do I want to add those details or do I not? Part of me doesn't want to. Part of me wants to leave it as is. But we'll see. Pretty much almost everything is fixable on gouache, so it's okay. We can try, we could see how it goes. We can add more details. Can make things darker and then fix if need be. So just looking at where some of the shadows are, because it's mainly like the rocks. That's the bits that I think in theory I need to add. Oh, I had my spray, my essential oil on. My diffuser was on, but it's finished now. See, I had like a whole relaxing vibe going. See, I don't like that. I think I preferred it light. And I also feel like, ooh, whoops, almost dropped my drink. Also feel like I don't want the small brush for that bit. Take it back. I don't like it. Thank you. Thanks, Brianna. I've never tried painting with oil. I was thinking about it. I did get like a playlist that I was gonna play in the background. Let me see. Normally, I love music royalty free. This song to me, I absolutely love. I'm sure I've played it on a channel before, but I feel like it sounds so sad, like a cry for help. It's not a cry for help. I just really like this song, so I'll play it a little bit. But feel free to mute if you don't want to hear it. I should say this is not my normal kind of music. I just heard it and loved it. Oh, that's weird. Sounds like I'm underwater. No. Okay. Now that the music has stopped, is that better? Maybe it was glitching because you can hear music. Am I still underwater? I had it so loud, I thought you guys could hear it. Did you fall into the painting? Let me know because there's a so maybe it wasn't picking up the song and it was struggling. Ah, sorry you missed that. It's called It'll Be Alright by Cody Francis. Oh, okay. So we'll give up on the music anyway. No, always wonder music, no music. Decision made. Just doing the path. Whoops. That we described. Yeah, I haven't tried water mixable oils. I would be willing to try them, but again, drying time is my issue. I'm not that patient. But I did see that Holbein, is it Holbein or Schminke? Or maybe both have like just released a new one, and I was contemplating it. And let's do this path here. Ideally with the right color. Oh, thank you. I think I am going to, like, part of me was like, oh, I want to add details, like all the rocks and everything, but actually I don't want to anymore. The beauty of like taking artistic license, is that you can do what you want. I think there was a sketchbook tour that I was watching ages back, and in it they were like, it's my sketchbook, I can do what I like. And I was like, what a beautiful motto. I'm going to use a bigger brush because why struggle? And let's add a few details. No, I do think that it's a good idea to write it. Even like I've seen some people sometimes write like, the intentions for the sketchbooks or what they want to get out of a sketchbook, or, like almost like a sketchbook contract as a reminder to yourself that, it's your sketchbook, you can do what you like, it's a safe place, you don't have to share what you don't want to. You can't waste your paper. Your art, even if you don't like it, is not a waste. Just like little reminders, whatever will encourage you to actually use your sketchbook. A nice quote. The one that I added in the workbook was, if I could describe it in words, I'd have no need to paint. Which I really like. It'll be all right. Let me add a tiny little fence because why not? Whoops. I want tiny, but my brush is too big. Which water soluble oils do you have, Brianna? I think that's a good idea. The song was It'll Be Alright by Cody Francis. I don't know, like when I heard it, I think it's a sad song. I can't tell if it's a sad song or a happy song. I feel like it's a sad song. Or I don't know. Or it's a comforting song. I don't know. It's just very different to the kind of music that I normally listen to, but like I heard it and I absolutely loved it. usually I listen to like Afro beats or Bashman. Like I listen to, because I find my mood follows the music. So if I'm listening to like, a super sad song, I will start feeling sad. If I'm listening to a super happy song, I will start feeling happy. Like, if I'm listening to like Sam Smith or Adele songs, like I'll literally feel like I've been wronged by a husband I never had. Like it's so so a lot of the time I'll just listen to like really happy, super excitable music. But yeah, here we go. Can you see the little details? A little fence, the shadows, the mixture of greens and browns. Part of me feels like I'm gonna leave it as is. I'm happy. But part of me also kind of is contemplating taking a picture of it, maybe using like Procreate to see if I can draw on it and see if I can like change it. Like I almost want to turn it into a mixed media piece. But I don't want to do that now. I want to think about it. Famous last words. I'm sure it will stay exactly the same in a future sketchbook tour. A startled ghost. I didn't see that. At least it's not on fire. There we go. Ta-da. And that's beautiful crisp edges. I'm surprised because it was lifting a little bit, but for some reason it still like repels. And it goes nicely with, you can't see, with the other lighthouses that we did on Ko-fi. What blue did I use for this? I really like this. I think I just used it super light. I think next time I'm going to do that and make it even lighter. I don't know. I feel like there are certain things I want to change, but we'll see. Might do another one. Never forget the cabin on fire. Oh, thank you so much, Brianna. I think that's what worked for me. I know, right? No torn pages. That Scotch tape changed my life. Do you remember? Unsubscribes when I tore the page. Let me write the date so that I remember. It is, I can't believe it, the 5th of August, 2023, and I'm going to write live stream and gouache. Windsor and Newton gouache. I'm trying to be more mindful of making notes, although these were time studies, weren't they? I'm trying to be more mindful of making notes so that I can actually remember stuff. Might do another one. We did have, let's see what other references we have. I feel like that one might be a bit too maybe all of them are a bit too complex to do at 2 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, no, I normally use masking tape or that Scotch tape, but I just wish that Scotch tape didn't have such a ridiculous price. Well, I'll just keep an eye to see if, when it goes on sale, if it ever goes on sale. I don't know, I'm kind of feeling, am I feeling this one? Maybe I'll do it as like the smaller one. I kind of wanted to keep using my Etch a sketchbook, but it's not it's not currently conducive with my setup. So in that it's the page on the right. So let me finish this then. Is this better? You can see it? Yes. Okay, good. So let's do this one. I can't even remember what it was going to be. No, actually, looking at it, it shouldn't be this one. If we do it here, it should be this one. Or there was another one that I wanted, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's annoying. I'm pretty sure. Let me see if I can find it. That StreamYard would not let me download it. I just feel like it should be a waterfall again. Oh, but then again, I wish I could remember what I was going to do here. You know? I do have a nice reference, actually, that's different to both. Just trying to see if I can, if there's a way for me to save it so that you can see it. It's one that I've done before, but I'm happy to do it again. How will I save this? Let me see. Also, subtle reminder for Ko-fi members. This month in our Zoom session, I want us to do some landscapes. Of course, you can just join and relax as well if that's what you'd like to do. But with regards to the landscapes, if you don't mind voting for your favorite reference photo that someone has, in the Discord server, in the August page or August favorites references, then we will pick the top ones to actually paint together. And it would be nice because someone did make a good point / asked a good question during the gouache course, and it was about painting. Let me see. It was about painting things that aren't necessarily as polished in terms of like having references that aren't taken by professional photographers or that aren't already, just like painting routine, completely normal references. So that's in part what inspired me to think, oh, let me actually just reuse the references that you want to use. But then also in that, I realized that everyone will be different. And I do tend to be particular in that there's only certain types of references that I do like. I do tend to prefer the more polished, references. Oh, hey, Sharmak, welcome. Have I tried? No, I haven't tried the Royal Thailand squash yet. Dana, I will. It's on my very long list of things to try. I still need to. Yeah, it's on my list. It's literally besides me. It's just maybe 10-hour challenge would be a good opportunity to do so. Or maybe that'd just be one of my challenges. But I will use it, and I think when I use it, I will give you the feedback. Because some people really love it and some people don't. No, it's the magic tape that comes in this one. I kept the box because I remember last time I was saying it's magic tape, but there's another magic tape that never comes off, but this one comes off. It's nice and clear. I prefer the one that's thinner. There's one that's not 19 millimeters. It's actually something like 12 maybe. I know I said 7 before, but actually I think it's 12 because it's half of this one. But it's just very expensive, so I just keep an eye out. I'm jealous and it hurts because here it was something like £7 and I could not bring myself to spend £7 on one. I do want to do like a gouache comparison. Sarah Burns did one, very, very thorough. But I also want to try it myself because I just find that we paint differently. We paint in different ways. We use gouache in different ways. So I'm kind of curious to know what I will observe. And she's very, very kindly. I think she's, not even I think, hold on. I think she sent me the Royal Talon squash. If I have, do I have the Royal Talon squash? I'm sure I do. Hold on. Yeah. So I have the Royal Talon squash, and it was Sarah Burns who sent it to me as a gift. She sent me lots of stuff. She sent me the Royal Talons, the Karen Dash. She sent me watercolors. She's a very, very generous, super, super generous. But yeah, I want to try it out myself because we do paint in like very different ways. I find I tend to like layering a lot. I think she, and also when I layer, I don't always necessarily, I'm not trying to do it to like mix with the layer underneath, which I think she does. So I wanted to see how much my difference would vary from hers, if at all. Sorry, I was coughing. Just bringing up the next reference. Yeah, seven. Yeah, that's why I couldn't buy it. But I think initially when I got it, it was something like £2 or £3, which already I thought was ridiculous. But there was nothing. I don't know. I'd seen it. I really liked it, and it's been hard to let go of. I think this is another reference that I'll definitely like come back to. I didn't forget the rocks, by the way. I decided I didn't want them there. Okay, what do we think about this reference? I feel like, does it count as a landscape? I feel like it kind of counts as a landscape. We can add water here if we want. We can add water at the bottom of it. Oh, my leg. If you're enjoying this video, please remember to hit the like button. I would really, really appreciate it. YouTubers like must be like, where is this girl? Is she even still on YouTube? Like, is she doing anything at all? But I'm still here. Okay, good. We like it. Thanks, Shah Mac. Let's so what am I gonna do? I'm gonna just show you how I make changes. So again, rule of thirds. So that's here and here and here and here, here and here. What I'm actually gonna do is raise up. I'm gonna turn that into water. So I'll raise this up, the ground up, and then we have the bridge. Why do I want? I don't feel like I want the bridge to. Trying to like get my scale right as well, if that makes sense. Because this is quite small. And for some reason, I feel like I want to paint it massively, which is it too low? Too high even? So rocks here, rocks here. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Bring that down. Then have that here. So I'm just roughly mapping out where the main shapes are going to go, just to make sure that I'm happy with the composition and it, to me, something falling, to me makes sense. Then there is a bush here, that's fine. Probably gonna make it start off here and then be like that. And then we can do like trees and whatnot in the back. I can't really see the rest of the background clearly. So the focus will be the bridge, I suspect. And then we'll take it from there. Looking forward to seeing how you interpret it. Me and you both. It's always a pleasant surprise to see what I end up creating in the end. So still using this. I'm going to change my water because it is very much not not conducive to like a nice clean painting. And I will be right back. If you're painting along, then also change your water. If you're not, have a bit of a break, grab a drink, and I will be back in, call it like a minute, maybe less than a minute, maybe like 30 seconds ish. Yeah. See you in a bit. Hey, yeah. I'm back. Sorry, I decided to grab a snack. The course is indeed on Kofi. Excuse the ASMR of me eating. I'm just hungry. And it will be there for a month. Thank you, Duck Roast. Okay. Let's do this. Got my clean water to hand. Oh, what am I eating? Such a joke. What's it? I feel like, are they like Cheetos in America? Is it too loud? I might mute myself as I eat. I don't know if people find ASMR relaxing, triggering, but I personally don't want to hear someone chew, so I might mute myself. But as I do, I'll start painting and doing that first light layer that I discussed. I was just showing you what they look like. Yeah, cheese puffs. Okay, I'm back. Sadly, the last Cheeto, what's it? Fell on the floor. But it's okay. I enjoyed the rest. I'm just really hungry, which I know doesn't make sense because it's 2 a.m., but I haven't eaten, like, I didn't eat all of yesterday because work was busy and then I was tired more than hungry. But oh my gosh, thank you so much, Charmaine. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm still here. I'm just hungry. I'm still hungry. That's the what's it's are not enough. Oh, thank you so much. I really hope that you enjoy the course. Um, no, I really do hope that you enjoy it. I was so pleasantly surprised by like how many people joined in. I had very I guess different expectations. And let me okay. So I've done the background. Did you see what I did? It felt odd to paint while eating because it's not something I normally do. In doing so, I realized that I normally eat with my right hand. So eating with my left hand, although it can be done, felt foreign. Step number one. And then step number two, painting and eating and like thinking about what I'm painting while eating was again also foreign. I'm so excited. And yeah, I'm curious. I really did enjoy the course. Part of me is like, oh, maybe I should just do more. It will just entirely be, it will be dependent on like what people want. Because initially, the reason that I did the gouache course was because I can't remember who on Kofi asked. And then when I put it to a poll on YouTube to be like, oh, are people even interested in this? They were like, yeah, do the course. So then I did it. You're off next week. Do you mean off as in like off work? Or off as in like you're doing a social media break and you won't be on Kofi? Because I am thinking about doing something for Kofi next week. I just need to recover from nights beforehand. I'm gonna mute you so that I can dry this and then we can start working on top. What are you gonna do for your vacation? That's all nice and dry now. Wondering if this is the right color, as in like I know it doesn't match the reference, but whether it's the right color for me, we shall see. I think it might have to be a bit darker, like more brown, darker brown still. But I still want there to be like, I don't want it to all be dark for and add arrange. Staycations are necessary. I honestly, I want a break so much. I literally just keep looking at Skyscanner to be like, is there a £10 flight anywhere? But more so, the flights are less so the issue or going somewhere. It's just the accommodation, you know, they get you on the hotels. They're so expensive. It makes it like next to impossible to actually travel anywhere, which is a shame. Even unlike staycations here in like I'm not gonna lie, sometimes the prices of like UK stuff just doesn't make sense. The reason that I went to the Amalfi Coast that time last year was because it was cheaper than staying in the UK. Like we were planning on staying in the UK, going for a few dinners. I was thinking maybe we'll find a nice hotel or something, but everything was so expensive that it was actually cheaper to just fly to Italy. But now everything's just expensive, point blank period, because it's summer, but I don't know. I might do it. I'm off next week. Well, I'm not off. I'm post nights, but which means that I'm off. Like I'm not working for a big part of the week because I will have finished my night shifts. And that would be a nice time to go somewhere. So we shall see. Watch this space. I have so many vlogs to actually create for you that I haven't even like fully mentioned because I don't want to like give loads and loads of spoilers. And I'm saying that because um, if I were to go away, I just want to go on a painting holiday. Do you know what I mean? Like literally go somewhere. Well, I want two holidays. I want one that's like a painting holiday, and I'm literally just going there. I'm relaxing. I'm painting. Doesn't have to be a retreat, but just in terms of like my aim is to be there and to paint. And then I want like another holiday where I don't necessarily doesn't have to be another one, but as in like I also want a period of time where I don't paint and I see what I do. Does that make sense? Where there's no pressure to necessarily paint and record, where I can literally do anything. And then I'm curious what that anything will actually be because I honestly do not know. Hey, Thea. Do you need an a reason other than art supplies? To me, art supplies is actually why Japan is now like officially on the wish list. Thanks to you guys. Just doing honestly an array of different colors. I'm not even sure how much of it truly makes sense. Um, because I'm gonna layer on top of this as well. But I feel like some of the blues are a bit too bluey. And I just need to mix them a little bit. Yeah, Italy was going to Italy at the time. Going to Italy was cheaper than us staying here. Like going to Italy for me, my mom, my sister, we got a hotel for I think 3 or 4 days. The only thing that was expensive was that when we were in Italy, we got a tour, and the tour in itself was expensive. But apart from that, the hotel and the flights were cheaper than staying in the UK on a staycation or going to like three. If we'd gone to 3 dinners, we would have probably paid the same. It's wild. Which is why I was like, we need to go, we need to go. And my mom was like, that's crazy because literally I called her. We were having this conversation at like something like 10 p.m. and the flights were like at 7 a.m. So I was like, let's pack our bags and go. She was like, what? But it was absolutely awesome. I think it's honestly one of the best things that we did. Just the freedom of like being like, actually, we can. There's no reason to stay. You can just pick up your bags and go if you want. It was a lot of fun. Not gonna lie, highly recommend. Um, but currently going to Italy, I think I'm not gonna lie. I think going to Italy would still be cheaper than a staycation here in some places. It's all dependent on the hotel because I don't stay in hostels. I'm too scared to sleep in a room with strangers. Like I just would not sleep. And I know you can get like private rooms, but I don't know. I'm literally someone was talking about all inclusive holidays, and I was like, huh, never tried that, but that might actually be my kind of vibe. Okay, let's do this water. Pick up some of that yellow. That's fading fast. And get some of that blue. Get some of that brown. Add some water. Sorry, I say water, but I meant white. I don't like that green. Let's try it again. Some brown, some blue, and now some yellow. Yeah, I would love to go back to Greece. I went to Greece many years ago. This is not quite the green that I want, but it's okay. I went to Greece many years ago, and to Kos specifically, and it was just really nice. And from Kos, I took a ferry over to Turkey. Again, really, really nice. And I went to Turkey purely because I didn't like the hotel. I didn't like the hotels in Greece. I was just finding like almost like bed sits as opposed to actual hotels. And then when I was looking for an alternative, it started showing me all these places. And I was like, oh, this is great. And I was like, why does the language look different? Booked it, looked on Google Maps, saw the ferry, took it over, and had myself a great time in Turkey for a few days. And then came back to Greece. But there's so many beautiful places that I would genuinely love to go. Thank you so much, Thea. Thank you so much. I love creating travel vlogs, watching travel vlogs. Like I'm here for it. Absolutely love it. They don't tend to do as well. And I don't know, I feel like when I'm talking about analytics, I'm not saying it like, oh, I want to grow, I have to grow. It's just that it's quite often what I have to go off of like interest. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh well, if people aren't watching it, they're not that interested in it. So then I try to divert my focus on what people may be interested in more so than what I create. But I do love travel vlogs and I will be doing more. I have at least two, maybe three travel vlogs that I just have not edited yet. That will come shortly. I'm gonna am I gonna dry this? Yeah, let me dry this. That is going to be awesome. I haven't been, but I've heard great things. Sorry, turned unmuted prematurely. But yeah, so many beautiful places that you're suggesting. For me at the moment, my I was looking, I've traveled to 16 countries, I think. Either 16 or 17. But I would definitely love to do more. I think it would have been more, but I do like going back to. I just keep going back to Italy time and time and time again. I was even thinking like, oh, dream big in that. I would love to do a retreat, like an art retreat, like host an art retreat. I would love to attend an art retreat too, but I would also love to host an art retreat. I was like, oh, wouldn't it be wonderful to host an art retreat in Italy? Like, but we'll see. Hopefully one day. But see, the US is so massive that would probably be why. Like, I feel like, and also so far from everything else. I feel like in Europe, it's just a lot easier to travel around. Oh, hey, the mighty pencil. We were talking about you earlier. What was I saying? Oh, talking about using good quality products and it actually motivating and encouraging you to create art and what beautiful art you have been creating. Yeah, no, I would love to. So my thing was, I was looking into it. I think like the admin, I feel like the admin bit might be quite quite a lot for me to do, and also I was just a little bit confused about like, do I need to get insurance and stuff and sorting out like what people will eat, and it's a big admin undertaking. Mm. What did I do? You did great things. Mm, yeah, I went to the or I visited the US like many years ago. I think when I was like a teenager. And everything, like I went to Texas, everything. I understand when they say everything is bigger in Texas. Like everything was massive, absolutely massive. It was a shocking experience. Um, but yeah, no. So I would definitely be open to it. It is something that I've like thought about and looked into because I was like, well, I love traveling, I love creating art. Does it not make sense that we just do it together? But what we will see. Yeah, there are. I need to look into the companies. I looked into I feel like I always be telling you guys all my business, but like we're what 2.5 hours in, it's all friends here. We I looked into Uptrack because that's the like more I think that's the one that I see more times than not. And also like when I look at retreats that I dream of attending, it's through them. But they said no. Um, so I don't know. I know that there are a few others, but then I think I just need to look into it a bit more in terms of if I am doing it with others, like are they reputable or do I just arrange it myself? I mean, the alternative could be that I like arrange one in London, but I want to travel as well. But I guess like if you don't live in London, I know London quite well, might be a bit easier to find certain places. Like the startup costs of me doing it on my own would be less. So I think watch this space. I'm, big on dreaming. Have big dreams. Is what I'm doing making sense? Probably not. Let me just add some white details on the rocks. And we can go back and add darker details later. Um, come to Alabama. It's like I was genuinely so confused as to like and everything for me was then an effort, right? Like you want to go to the grocery store. For me, if I want to go to the groceries, and that's because I'm not even like in London, I have to like go downstairs and walk 3 minutes, right? London probably walk 1 minute. Here you have to, it's a whole production. Like you have to drive half an hour. Like it, yeah. Don't know how you guys be doing it out there. I'm going to add more brown, making it darker with the blue. Just to add some tree trunks in the back. Trying to not have it symmetrical. And it's nice because we have the kind of did the background beforehand anyway. There were like little bits of different colors poking through. So it'll make sense. But they're like big trees, so we're not gonna see the foliage like, lots of detail. Just gonna see the trunks. Trying to make them different sizes as well. Resisting the urge to make it symmetrical because, symmetry is not always our friend. Um, yeah, no, I do know like New York. I don't know, like I feel like I will probably visit New York at some point. I don't know. I just need to review my my list of dream places to visit and then start working my way through according to my budget. But yeah, the day that Uptrek says yes, me, you, we're going to Italy. Or I don't know where else I'd go. I've been to Morocco. That was nice. I don't like. Would I go to France? I might go to France. Like I've seen some really beautiful videos and pictures and stuff of France. I feel like honestly, my why Italy has me on a chokehold is the food. Like I'm not even gonna. I can't even lie to you. And I keep thinking like, oh, do I want French food? It's not bad, but does it compare to Italian food? And then I pick Italy. Come to Australia. Haven't I've been to Scotland. Oddly, it was before I was painting though. I feel like all these countries I've traveled to and I wasn't even painting at the time. Such a waste. Not a waste of a trip, but like, oh, imagine how much fun I would have had if I was painting. Um, so I went to Aberdeen for a friend's wedding. That was really nice. It's like a shipyard, not shipyard, but it's like a port kind of place. And I would love to go to Australia. The thing with Australia is just that it's so far from me, so far and so expensive. But I am open to it, especially because I have a really good friend who's in Australia who moved out there. So it would be nice to go and visit her. Um, so I may do. Uh, Come to see me in LA. I would honestly, I love traveling, so I'm up for going absolutely anywhere. It is all completely determined by by ticket prices. It's all determined by money. Once I get that sorted, then I'll, I'll travel everywhere, here, there, and everywhere. I'm just making that thicker. It's too wet. Adding some more paint. But yeah, I just feel like a retreat would be so much fun, and I would do like obviously daydreaming. I would do lots of different stuff. For some reason, I see a lot of retreats like you book it, but you don't get art supplies. I would like. Should I spill the beans? Might as well spill the beans. But I would try and get sponsors so that I can actually get some art supplies of like Etcher to sponsor the sketchbooks. Who would Winsor and Newton to sponsor the gouache? Don't know. They move kind of bougie sometimes. So I don't know if they'd actually agree to sponsor, but get them to sponsor the gouache. Who would sponsor the watercolor? That's the question. Oh, Romish Mall. Do you think they'd sponsor? I feel like they sponsor. I feel like they're very for the people. So I would get them to sponsor the watercolor. And who else would we have? Brushes. Who would do the brushes? Never tried a Skoda. I've heard great things, but I haven't tried them. Would Rosemary and Co. This is me. This is how I daydream. Make plans. Don't know. We'll see. We'll see who'd make the brushes. And it'd be in Italy. Private chef, pool, MVPs. Don't know whether it would be focused on like, and you guys can let me know as we continue to dream about this together. I don't know if I would do it so it's like, for example, focused on creating like gouache landscapes, for example, or whether I would just leave it a bit more open and sometimes do watercolor, like watercolor florals, sometimes do watercolor landscapes, like, more on like sketchbook practice and just like building an art practice. Ah, wouldn't we just? That first class is my dream. I've never been. that would be that would be the dream. So yeah, maybe I would do it like general, like perhaps pick a certain focus, but otherwise just have it nice and loose, and then that way it can be beneficial to everyone. Or urban sketching. But see, then that's the thing. Then Italy, parts of Italy would make sense for that. Other parts might be a bit thing. But yeah, that would be nice. So we continue to live and to dream. Yeah, my only issue with Uptrack, and there's not like an issue apart from, obviously the fact that they've rejected me. No, my only other thing is that retreats are, they're quite expensive. Which was why initially I was like thinking, oh, maybe I can try and do it myself to like lower the cost for people, because we're talking like 3 to 5,000 US dollars. And I don't know like how that compares in terms of like in general, like art retreats. Is that a good price? Is that a bad price? How does it compare to like an all-inclusive 10-day holiday? Do you know what I mean? Plus or minus, but obviously you then get like the instructor, aka also me, being there as like the extra thing. But that's also, yeah, why I was like, oh, maybe I should try and do it myself. But then when I tried to look into crunching the numbers myself, I think it would be slightly cheaper, but like it would be a lot of work and only slightly cheaper. So I don't know. Let me see. We can go to northern Canada in the middle of winter. Oh, seen ones that were 7 to 9K. Okay, so maybe 3 to 4 is actually reasonable. I don't know, I might do it. Like I was contemplating Emma Carlisle's one. But by the time I was contemplating it, it was too late. It was already sold out. And also to be honest, it was more like a loosely contemplating. Once I saw the price, I was like, it's not going to happen for me right now. Who I would also love to do a retreat with is Alex Hillkurtz. I know I've mentioned him so many times, but ever since I did his Domestica course, I just fell in love with his art. Like, guy must think I'm not a stalker, but I do like watch his stories and stuff, and I'm like, his art is just absolutely stunning. And I would just love to do a session or a course or something with him as well. But again, it's in the thousands. So it's not something I can do right now. But yeah, I would love it. Like, if you haven't done his Domestica course, I recommend it. And I can link it down below. It's he does like loose watercolor painting of Paris, kind of talks through his inspiration, his process. I just really thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, I saw Lindsay was doing one. I would do Lindsay. I would do it to meet her. Definitely fangirling on Lindsay, and also she just so skilled in so many different mediums. Just, I think it would be a lot of fun. Who else is doing one? I saw like a lot of YouTubers, which is what had me thinking like, oh, they can, I can. Apparently not. Not yet, anyway. One day. Oh, welcome, Johnny's Ma. We're just doing a gouache landscape and discussing art retreats. And as we discuss it, we are daydreaming / planning my art retreat for when the time comes. It'd be so far things that we have. I mean, I'm not saying Italy's a non-negotiable. I'm just saying, like, you know, I'd love for it to be Italy, but I'm open to other places as well. Saying it would probably feature urban sketching. I don't think it'd be exclusively one topic. Like, I would want it to be more open. I'd get different companies to sponsor so that at least hopefully we can get some art supplies, because I think it's a shame to come to an art retreat and not get given any art supplies. What else would we do? That's my consistency is wrong. Can you tell? That line in the middle. So I'm doing a red line in the middle and you can't really see it. Why? Because it's activating the layer underneath. Why? Because my gouache is very watery. And why is it so watery? Because I let it completely dry out. So now I'm adding lots of water to try and reactivate it. Why am I mentioning this? So that if you're having the same issues, you know why and you know what to do about it, which is reconstitute the gouache a bit more. So add more water, actually really mix it into the paint so that you're picking up more paint. This will also have to dry in order for you to fix it. I know you tried so hard. That might be you and me both. That's the thing. Like, I feel like there's so many beautiful places. Italy, I love everywhere I've been there. I've loved. Where else I've been to? I went to Barcelona again many years ago, way before painting, and it just seemed like a really happy, energetic place. Um, Marrakesh was beautiful, full of culture, completely different, like color palette, like yellow ochre, if I could describe a color that I was seeing everywhere. Obviously, been to Nigeria, not doing an art retreat there, but it's home. Um, where else? Oh, Thailand, stunning, really beautiful. But the only thing with Thailand is like it's beaches, lots of lovely beaches. So it would be lovely to relax there, but I don't like painting beaches, which I didn't really realize until I tried. Going to dry this. The aim of the trip would definitely be to also eat gelato every day, food every day. Ugh. I think also the reason that I keep thinking about it is because I am hungry. Let me not lie. I do feel like that's playing a role here. Let's add some more details to this bridge. But yeah, I'd love, can you imagine like a world tour? World tour painting. If Emirates feel inspired to sponsor me, I am more than happy. But good night, guys. I don't know if you're still here, but if you are, good night. Thank you so much for joining. It's always so nice getting to chat to people and paint, you know? Wondering if I should add smaller lines. Might add some smaller lines here. Picking up some more paint. I went to Paris many years ago. Oh, I feel like I've said that everywhere. It's every place is because every trip feels like a lifetime ago. But I went to Paris. I think for my how old was I? Maybe like 20. I need to check. But basically, my sister booked a trip to Paris for us for my birthday. And it was just so much fun. So we went there for like the day on the Eurostar. We ate lots. We went shopping. We went to the Louis Vuitton store. Realized that if we put all our money together, we could buy a keychain. Left the Louis Vuitton store. It was a lot of fun. Just adding some shadows to our bridge. And I made it purple. Also, I'm trying to look at the reference to see like where makes sense to add the shadows, like where is the light coming from? And I feel like it's coming from above, which is not which doesn't make like placement of the shadows super clear, if that makes sense. In terms of the horizontal, not the horizontal, the vertical pillars that we're seeing. But I've done what I can, and we can add highlights later. Oh, good night, Mrs. Z. Oh, I need to check the time. Do you remember that time that we stayed so late that it went from being that it ended up being too late for US people to be up and the UK people started waking up? It was a personal record. I'm not going to do the same today. Once I finish this, I will go to bed. But I'm so hungry. Maybe I'll make myself a sandwich and then I'll go to bed. It was. It really was. It was wild as well because, you know, I got to see the sunrise. And I think I didn't even realize until like I could see. That's why I just checked the time because I'm like, hold on, people are leaving. Does that mean that it's bedtime for US folk? So this one's gonna go here. Just doing some light lines. I think I still want to do that sign actually. Nine p.m. US. Okay. I think at that time I streamed until like 7 a.m. So it would have been crazy late. What did I miss? 7 p.m. Oh, thank you so much. Do I call you black and white to color? Very, very true. Yeah, no, I struggle to figure out what time I should do stuff just because do want it to be make sense for Stephanie. Because I was like B and W2 color. Um yeah, I do want it to like be good time zones. I feel like at the moment, to be fair, my streams, my videos, my everything are geared towards not UK time. The gouache course I did gear towards UK time because I was trying to snap out of being nocturnal. Yet here we are. You win some, you lose some. I'll snap out of being nocturnal next week. Hopefully. So just doing that white pillar. I'm not even sure what it says, but it's okay. I like it. And then I'm gonna add some highlights. Now that I have the white, I'll add some highlights to the ridge. And add some highlights to the rocks as well. This is Winsor and Newton gouache. Oh, it's a holiday on Monday. What for? Wait, is it? No, I was thinking, is it a holiday here? But it's not. It's at the end of. It's at the end of August. No. Says go to bed. It's 3 a.m. Oh my gosh. It's true. That was, I wonder if, yeah, I was going to say, I wonder if it was because I was tired that it was on fire. But actually, I think it's just because I don't use red. And Do a few thin lines here. I want line going down. I almost wish I'd made it a bit lighter. Let me add some white. In terms of like the cracks, I don't want them to be so attention seeking. So I'm just going to go over it, make it a little bit darker, but not quite as dark as it was before, you know? And just layer on top. Light colors will dry darker as well, so I'll see how that dries to see if I want to make it darker still. But I feel like it's a bit better. And let's add some yellow green to like here. To this side of the painting, and adding some horizontal lines to the water as well. I'm just doing some foliage to go over the tree trunks that we added before so that they actually are in the painting and blend nicely. Probably. Civic holiday on Monday. Ah. At least it'll be a nice surprise for your boyfriend. Tell him, hey, no work. I've added some white to that mixture to make it even brighter. Just want some more pops of contrast, you know? Can you see how like bright that is now? It will still get like a bit darker, but at least like I feel like that's better. And then add some white lines here. And that's kind of greeny, so I'm not going to add it to that. And then take some more white, water it down a little bit, and do a second pass over that sign so that it's a bit whiter, but I'm not going to do it over everything so that there's like a bit of variation. So almost like a wet dry brush. A wet dry brush, which sounds like a paradox. So like a dry brush that's done a little bit too wet, so you're getting like some solid lines, but there's also some bits underneath poking through. Now I'm kind of wondering, I'm kind of feeling to add another bit of contrast here by making it lighter in parts of the background so that we're going from background to here. Let me make it a bit more yellow. And I think we're almost done. Adding some more of those lines. I feel like sometimes if I have a color, I'll like look to see if it's needed anywhere else in the painting. Just feel like it makes it a bit more cohesive as well, because you're using similar colors all over. And now let's add those characters. Let me zoom in. Is it still sharing for you guys? Oh no. I'm just looking at the reference even closer so I can see if I can do the characters. I might cheat. Like I was gonna use a paintbrush, but why struggle? I'm going to dry this and then I'm gonna go over it with a fine liner. Cool, nice and dry. And okay. Let's do the characters. Let's try and do the characters. So this one looks like this. And down. And across like that. And then that looks similar. But more down. Someone's going to see this and be like, what the hell? And then this one looks like this. Can you hear the concentration? This is harder than the painting. This bit right here. It's funny, I'm struggling like this to put this in and I have no idea what it says. Could be total and utter nonsense. And then the last ones. Jeez, okay. And also, I'm trying to like follow it exactly, and I don't know if the variations I'm seeing are just handwriting or if they're actually different characters. Almost done. There we go. Let me come back so I can see you. Can you see? This is my bridge. What did I miss? Stay off my bridge. Are you guys making this up? We will actually never know what it says. Do not paint my bridge. Can you imagine? And I'm here painting on live stream. Oh, okay. That, ladies and gentlemen, wraps this up. So, oh, should I do the tape peel? I can. Or shall I save it for a reel? You're definitely making this up. You know what? Initially, I thought you were serious, and I was like, that would be a very odd and specific thing to say for a bridge. If you're interested in the course, it is linked in the description, that as well as the workbook. So you can either get just the videos or you can get the videos and the workbook. And in addition, don't forget the discount codes that I've let you know for Jackson's if you're buying from there. So if you're a first time buyer and you use my link and the discount code, you'll get a total 20% off. But if you're not a first time buyer, and this is the exciting bit because, you know, most of us are not, then you get an extra 10% off by using the discount code Scrubs10 in the in the checkout in the promo code bit. And if you are shopping on Etcher and you use the code Sketches10, then you get 10% off. And that is because of Etcher. So super special thank you to them for that. And what else do I need to tell you? If you have done the course, please do the feedback. And I think that's pretty much it. If you haven't already joined, please join my my Ko-fi art membership, because then we can have all this fun over there too. Although we are having quite a lot of fun. I feel like most of you are Ko-fi members anyway. Oh, thank you. Hey Nell. Do it, peel it. We saying all peel. No, you're more than welcome. I didn't even realize, like, I should have probably just had it as a banner. But yeah, it's in the description, extra 10% off on top of sale items. Like, I don't know how long they're going to do that for. So I don't know when they finish, and I don't know how many people can use it, which is why I started off by telling my Ko-fi. Now I'm telling MVPs that are on live streams, and then I can make a video and let everybody know once I've bought it, so I don't miss out as well. No, but also, oh, I'm so glad. Thank you so much, Anita. Yeah, we definitely have a great group. Enjoy your vacation, Angela, and thank you for watching. Do I get kickback from the codes? No. No. I was thinking, like, do I get kickback? No. I get affiliate income from some of the links, like, you know, some of the Jackson's links or the Amazon links that I use, but I don't get anything from using the codes. I don't think. I just get the you just get the discount. Because I asked them for a discount, and oh, can you see I'm gonna peel this? Oh, good. I'm glad that you enjoyed the 10% off. It makes a difference, man. Things are so expensive nowadays. Art supplies are not cheap. So let me see if I've got this the right way. Okay, I'm gonna peel it for you guys, even though this would make a great reel. Let's start with this one. Oh man, sorry. I'm sorry, it's not satisfying. The way that I stuck this down, I don't even feel like it makes sense. Okay, I think I stuck it down in the middle first. Who does that? Ooh. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe it wouldn't have made a reel after all. There we go. It was this. Okay. As it should be. This. There we go. Clean border numero uno. Clean border. Please let it be number 2. Yes. Now can it come off? This one can. Let me see. No, yeah, okay. Clean border number 3. And please, if you haven't already liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button. And Ko-fi members, keep an eye out. We will be doing another Zoom session. I'm enjoying them. I'm assuming you guys are enjoying them too. So life permitting, we'll be doing more of them. So I'm planning on doing one next week. I just need to double check my rota. And hold on, up here so that you can see. Or should I do that one last? Let me do that one last. Let's do this top one because I feel like my hand does not need to obscure the view. And then last but not least, we have this one. And also, Ko-fi members, don't forget that you still have access to the course for the next, until the end of August. And the workbook, you get 10% off, but just have to be sure that you are logged in if you didn't already get it for free. And there we go. What's happening? My sketchbooks. Thank you. Let me hide this. Let me do this one. That's not what I want. It's not what I want. Remove this. Okay. Can you see? So we'll start off with this one. I love this one for the dry brush. I hope it's in focus. Can you see that? That right there, I absolutely love. And like it's not like boastful, but I think it's good. I think sometimes it's shunned upon to actually like your artwork, but I think we should like it. So as well as liking the dry brush, I just love the like blues and browns like in this area. Like all the fun is in the shadows. Then I also love this. And this was actually a reference that was sent in by one of the subscribers, Kelly H. Took stunning photos. This is one of them. And that's from the course as well. Then this is from the course. And I just love, I didn't even realize this initially until, who mentioned it? Was it Dark Roast? Somebody mentioned it. But the use of like blues and yellows, like it's the complementary colors for me, is that harmony for me is just like chef's kiss. And I love the blue shadows as well. Like I really love the Prussian blue for that. And then we have this one. Look at that. I tried with the lettering. Can you see? But again, I feel like this ties in very nicely with this because it's a very similar color palette where we have like the greens and you can see the blues and the browns and the shadows. And then we have the lake. And yes, we have the bridge, but look at all that foliage. There we go. That is, and then you can see like my super soaked paper towel from dabbing off all the excess. I normally let it dry and then just reuse it. I'm here for just reusing as much as I can. Oh yeah, of course. Which reference? Can you put the first reference back up? Do you mean the first reference as in this one? This is this one? Oh yeah, how can I forget to show the other bit, the dreamy landscape? It's funny because it feels like a completely different vibe to all my other paintings, but I love them. I love it. Is this the reference that you meant, or did you? I should hope so. Oh, thank you so much, guys. I love it. No, waterfalls are a lot of fun. I think that I think I enjoy them because they're like a lot of different techniques. So you're like doing blending, you're doing dry brush technique, you're like mixing a whole bunch of different colors. Like I'm here for waterfalls. Um, but I can see how that would then also make it less appealing because you have to do blending, you have to do dry brush, you have to do a whole bunch of different techniques as you're painting. Oh, thank you so much, Mrs. E. Oh, it wasn't you. Who was it then? Maybe it was us. I need to look back and see. Somebody commented it. Um, oh, the dream is your fave. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Glad you can see it, Mrs. E. Cool. Well, I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. Um, and I will see you again on the next live stream. I am slowly trying to make my way back to YouTube, but obviously it's taking a while to edit everything. Oh, welcome. Sorry, I've just finished, but you can watch it back on the replay if you like. And if you feel like painting along, then you are more than welcome to do so. I leave the reference up the whole time so that you can. As a reminder to everyone, because I can see that there are more people now that we're ending. But just as a reminder, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. I have a discount code, a super awesome discount code, which is where is it? 10% off. Is this one? No, is this one. So I'll put it on the screen as well in case you're watching on TV. But 10% off from Jackson's, and that's even if you are an existing customer. It's on top of sale items. I don't know how long it will be available for, and I don't know if there's a limit on how many people can use it. So I'm just letting people know now. And if you're a new subscriber, not subscriber, but if you're a new like customer to Jackson's, then you'll get the 10% off by using my link, and then an additional 10% off by using the discount code Scrubs10. If you've bought from Jackson's before, then by doing that, using my link and using Scrubs10, you get 10% off. And as well as that, if you want to continue to have access to the video part of my Gouache Landscapes course, then you should consider joining my art membership. If you want to join our Zoom sessions, which was a lot of fun, or take part in our art challenges, or see our exclusive videos, just all of that and more. I really do try to pour a lot of value in it. Then join my Ko-fi, and it's all linked down below as well. But be sure to check the description for everything. If there's anything I've forgotten, I will add it there. But I hope you guys have a lovely morning, evening, night, wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining. If you did paint along, then send me a picture or tag me. I would love to see. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. And I will see you again next time. Bye. Oh, I realize you can't see me, but yeah. Let me say bye face to face, and then I'll go. Bye. It's like, oh, it seems weird to say all of that without you actually seeing me. Have a nice day.